So once I've watched Black Panther, I'll be ready for that.
So I'm going in Black Panther-less because they do not show it at the Cineworld anymore.
Yes,
so
they do.
do they?
Yep.
Wasn't on the listings I saw.
2 showings a day because I was
All
actually checking that out. There's one today at 3:30.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably just pick it up when it's on rent.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, I just feel it's. I just want to see Black Panther before it goes before I see Infinity War.
Yeah, got my tickets for tomorrow, so interested to see how that movie is.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard varying degrees of it's good to it's too long to.
Yeah, I've not heard anyone say it's bad. Like I think a couple of people I know that have seen it have been varying degrees of it was fun or it was really great but no one's turned around and been like shit.
Till I go see it.
Oh. Hello. And welcome to Headset Reviews. My name is Ali Hay, and I'm your host for today. Today is the 28th of April, 2018. And I'm joined
to do these monthly now, I've noticed.
Oh, I blame you. Yeah, Mark Gibson's here. Hi, Mark.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Kind of.
Kind of?
In body, may not in mind and spirit, but yes, I am here. Hence why my voice is a bit raspy today. So
yeah, you did your annual going out the house. So. Christ, I'm surprised you haven't formed your cocoon yet.
Cocoon has been shed, Ellie. Cocoon has been shed.
I'm a new Mark. So what have you been doing?
What I've been doing, work's been kind of the forefront. There's been a few things that I've had to deal with in that regard. We're obviously not going to talk about that here, but what else have I been up to since the last time we were on? Watched more Jessica Jones.
How far in are you?
So I had the cliffhanger where David Tennant just bought her parents' house.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I forgot you hadn't seen the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some interesting like character stuff coming up then.
And watched like 6 and a bit seasons of the Bake Off in between.
When did you watch that on?
Netflix.
Has it been added?
Yeah, all the BBC series are on Netflix.
Because it used to be that like one of the big things was America had the Bake Off for ages, and we didn't. So it's weird.
Good old BBC. They're like, nah, we want to sell it to you.
Yeah, well, so did Netflix. I mean,
yes, true. True. But
darn BBC and their money making.
BBC's more about hey, we have this on DVD, and you're like, well, what about Blu-ray? And they're like, what's that?
We have this on VHS. Oh man. So that's it. It's been Bake Off, Jessica Jones, and
work. Work has been kind of mad recently.
Work.
Yeah. Hopefully ramping up some stuff before E3. I've got the week for E3 off, so that'll be that's the peak time of just like I get to just do whatever the hell I want for a week and watch press conferences at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
How about you? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Baseball's back. Woo!
I saw Gary posted a picture of his new bat.
Yeah, it got broken. His last one got broken.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. Sweeney took a jammed fastball and just split the bat. It's one of the. It's fun when a bat breaks because you can tell immediately from the moment the ball touches the bat. You're like, that bat's broken. Ah, well. So that is now me. I broke one of Gary's bats, and Sweeney has broke one of Gary's bats. Gary is yet to break one.
The whole thing.
Sweeney did replace. Thankfully, I broke his bat that he got like at the very start of when we played baseball.
So as he was starting to ramp up the expenditure on these bats, then
exactly,
so
it was like right. 20 quid bat. So he was it doesn't matter. Whereas this one, Sweeney was like, I'll buy you a new bat. So yeah, we're away tomorrow, which is great because Glasgow.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with that parade of the Planet of the Apes tomorrow.
Ugh.
I'm happy it's 12 o'clock kickoff, so I'll still be watching Infinity War then. So that's
God, you've got a fucking early showing, don't you?
yeah, first one in the morning. So
Like, are you like an anti-vampire? Do you have to be home by sundown or something? I'm really
no, I just knew it was going to be a busy weekend, so I was just like, well, what's the quietest showing that I go to that people
okay.
won't annoy me so
Okay.
much? And
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, go for that one,
Mm.
and then I can go get donuts afterwards.
What
And
kind of
then,
donuts are you gonna get?
so I've not been to Tantrum Donuts yet since they opened up in the city centre, so
Oh,
I'm
right,
gonna
yeah.
gonna go there and pick up some donuts.
Do you know what you should do as well? Go to Taco Bell.
So the next on the agenda for restaurants is Bibimbap,
Okay.
which is the Korean place over by the lighthouse area. So
Yep. So I don't know why you brought up restaurants. You should go to Taco Bell.
because that's not a restaurant.
It's really not.
Yeah, I need to go and experience it.
It's
We might do it around E3 or something.
yeah,
If we
yeah. You know, take a wee bit of time, pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly it's better than what's it, Barbarito.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Barbarito.
I miss Pinto. Now
Taco
there's
Mazama's okay.
I always find their chicken really watery.
Well, how do you
Um,
like Taco Bell's flattened and breaded and deep fried chicken as the chicken nachos? Have you tried those yet?
no, I really want to. But fuck, man, Taco Bell's good. It's not. Again, I've probably said this on here. It's not the garbage that it was in America.
Well, it can't be because we have,
Exactly.
food standards
We have
agencies that don't allow mattresses in food.
No, totally. And that is a good thing, but it does take away the slight garbage, like the good garbage factor of American Taco
What is
Bell.
it? What is the garbage fat? Is that danger of you don't know what you're going to get, so you're taking
I
your
don't know.
life in your hands as you take a bite into a taco?
Like, see when I was when I ate Taco Bell here, I was like, this is this is totally acceptable fast Mexican food. Whereas in America, I was like, this is like garbage that I could put in my face and it's awesome. Like it's honestly
This came out of a tube.
yeah, but it was perfect. Like there's fucking nothing wrong with it coming out of a tube if it tastes all right.
So I was in my but we'll talk about like what caused this a little earlier. But like I was looking up to see if Freshness Burger had any UK outlets, and I did not realize that their whole premise is like, yeah, no, the meat is 100% legit, everything's organic, everything's fresh that day. Just like that explains why it's so expensive, but also really fucking good.
Yeah, that does explain. So it's like really that day,
Yeah.
fucking murdered the cow that morning.
No, I don't think I don't think that's what they mean. But yeah,
That's what fresh means.
Freshest Burger is amazing. It's really fucking good. Which is a shame they don't have any over here in the West.
I mean, there's a lot of things that different countries have and don't have.
This is true.
Yeah. Maybe you should just start a petition.
Yeah. I'd really like to see Yakiniku place over here as well, but we don't get trusted with fire, so they would never do that. So
A what?
Yakiniku is the Korean barbecue where you have like the brazier on your table.
Yeah. No.
And then they entrust you to cook your own meat and stuff.
Fuck,
no.
Can you imagine like how many waivers you would have to sign just to sit at the table?
Maybe that's what they did up Sicky Hall Street like 3 weeks ago when everything was on fire.
What was it that went on fire? Because the last time it was
Victoria's nightclub.
Oh yeah, Vicky's. Yeah.
That was a good day. I was just watching that and started going, asbestos.
Doesn't make sense if it was because asbestos is flame retardant.
I know, right?
That was the bit that I really didn't. I was like, why do people keep saying it was asbestos? Asbestos is burnable. It'll murder you, but it won't burn. I need to go back to, or I need to go to Steak and Cherry. I've heard that's very good. And once it reopened after the fire.
I've not even heard of Steak and Cherry, so
Really, it's next to like the garage end, near the casino up there.
okay.
And it well, I don't know if it still does, but its big thing was it was open till like 4 in the morning,
Okay.
and you could get like pancakes and like
Okay.
yeah. But it's actually meant to be like really good and is open at normal times.
Huh. Okay. Is that like where the World Buffet place used to be, or is that
Further up,
okay?
like right up at the garage.
Okay.
Like I think it's like 2 doors down. Up? Ah, no, it's further up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's further. It's just up from the garage towards Charing Cross. Great directions for all the people who don't live in Glasgow.
Yeah. Let's talk about Glasgow for an hour.
What?
Everything's on fire. Everybody's shit. Right there.
Hey, no. I
Full
love
firm games tomorrow. Everybody's shit.
Okay, right. Okay, tomorrow everyone's shit. But I genuinely, I like this city. Do you not like Glasgow?
I don't spend a lot of time in Glasgow now. I spend a lot of time out with. I do.
Well, not including work.
Oh right, yeah. Then I'm still here.
You don't spend time outside of Glasgow. You go to a building and then you leave the building and come back to Glasgow.
Yeah, true.
No, I like Glasgow. It's a fucking weird place. You've been playing anything? Well, I know one thing you've been playing, but have you been playing anything else?
Yeah, I touched a little bit of Super Hot.
Super Hot.
Yeah, I did the first few levels of that one. That seemed real cool. I need to go back to it when I actually have the bandwidth to be able to get through that.
Yeah, I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
Do not say bandwidth around me.
I know, right? That's
the word you're looking for is time.
Let me tell you about blue sky thinking. No, I put some time into Yakuza 0.
That
I've heard chapter and a bit of that. How are you coming along with?
So, are you enjoying it? I've literally played like 5 minutes, and then other things started appearing.
I had my first major story twist of 0, and it made me go fuck. So that the story is like super intriguing, and it continues to be really, really cool. I still have not seen Ken Watanabe because it switched characters, and I didn't get to see him yet. But yeah, I've been watching Trez play a lot of 6 just now, and that game looks fucking incredible. And every time I go play the other thing, I'm like, man, I could be playing Yakuza. Because I also picked up Kiwami last week as well.
Jesus.
So we have all the PS4 versions of Yakuza just now.
Not for long.
No, because that one's pre-order as well. So yeah,
you got Kiwami 2 ready?
Yeah, like Yakuza has slowly become like into the pantheon of like my favorite series of all time. It's just like the best thing. So there was an interview on one of the PlayStation blogs where it's like how like the game's director is like, how would you describe Yakuza as someone who's never played it? And it's like it's a series of increasingly bizarre events played very seriously. And it's that for the entire thing, and it's the fucking best. Like 6, not only does it have the increased graphical fidelity because it's a new engine, and like Kamurocho, which is the city.
I thought it was in the same engine as Kiwami and 0.
So Yakuza 0 is a separate engine for that game, and then Kiwami is based on that engine. 6 is a new engine, and then Kiwami 2 is based on that engine.
Right. Okay.
It's all incredibly confusing.
Because I mean, hey, like the 5 minutes I played as 0 looks fucking great.
Yeah, and 6 only continues to ramp up the stakes in that one. So they've changed a few things in comparison to Zero. You wouldn't have got to this point yet, but in Zero there are multiple fighting stances. There are 4 per character, but they condense that down to 1 for 6. But the fighting is more fluid and more physics based, so you can pick up guys and swing them around and throw them into other guys, and they will ricochet off walls and bikes and whatever else. And there are about 10 times more heat actions as well, so pretty much anything is interactable and you can use it.
Jeez, you're just smashing people's faces into
So
anything.
one of the ones that Therese showed me yesterday was obviously the fights happen in streets and there are pedestrians around or whatever else. She got a prompt, hit a guy, got beamed in the head, turned around, went straight into a woman's chest, and then the woman got pissed off and knocked him out. Yeah.
So, but you didn't mention this game is made in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah, this is very much a Japanese game.
That's so weird.
Judging by the screenshots of the live chat mini game in it, yeah, definitely.
Mark-san,
it's really I can't express how much I really want you to get to 6, if not just for the baseball management sim.
You want me to get to 6?
Yeah, that's only 3 games.
You're aware that it took me, what, 5 months to get 0? Then it took me another month to put it in, and I've played 5 minutes of it. You're aware how bad I am with games,
yeah.
Right?
So Therese got to the baseball sim aspect of it, and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, if you need advice, come to this guy.
But yeah, it looks pretty, like, for something that isn't part of the game, looks pretty fully featured. Like, you have to search for players that you want and then swap between innings and whatever else, and like call in and out your players and all that stuff.
So what you want is you want your your speedy guys, your contact guys hitting like 1 and 2, and then you want 3 can usually be like in between, but number 4 is your real cleanup hitter. So you're wanting like big power, maybe doesn't need speed, like you just want power 4, like 3, 4, 5. That's what you call the heart.
Well, Ellie, do I have a game for you?
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's there's no Osaka in this one from what I've seen. It mostly takes place in Hiroshima in a place called Onomichi, and in obviously fake Kabukicho, which is Kamurocho in Tokyo. The game looks fucking stellar, especially when at night in Kamurocho as well. Takes real advantage of the HDR with the bloom from the lights and everything. It looks really fucking good. It's as bizarre as ever. It's incredibly well acted, if not taking itself incredibly seriously in like the most bizarre situations. There is a side quest where you play as the mascot of Onomichi, which is a man with a giant mikan, which is like a big orange head with a bowl of ramen on top, who's wearing a sailor outfit because it's on a shore town. And then you have to beat up a bunch of like ingrates while like answering questions to keep kids happy. It's like bizarre. It's
Wait, is it Japanese trivia?
No, it's like, so you're given the context before you go in. So it's like your catchphrase is like, you add Michi to everything. So you say nice to Michi, which is a really good translation. When things go wrong, you say, oh no, and then like the crowd yells it back at you verbatim.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of,
while you're beating people up, it's more like you're also trying to put on a performance.
Yeah, so there's a performance and then it gets interrupted, and then it's really good. Takeshi Takano's in it.
Okay.
He plays a central role in the game. Also, the main protagonist from Battle Royale is in it as well.
Wait, so the main protagonist and antagonist
are both in this game.
Okay.
Half the cast of Japanese pro wrestling is in this game as well. As a CD gang called Justice.
You say half of
There are 6. There are 6 people.
No, but what I'm saying is Kenny Omega in this?
I'm not sure. You would need to tell me
who Kenny Omega is.
Yeah,
he's a Gaijin.
Oh, is he Gaijin?
Yeah, he's Gaijin.
I don't think he would be in it then.
Right.
I've only seen one. I've seen one guy. Right. attention to detail in this game. I've seen one gaijin in the game. Well, no, there's actually a bunch because there's a lot of Chinese and Koreans in it. But like in terms of like white ass gaijin,
White Gaijin. Because
there is
Gaijin's just
a there
foreigner.
is a combini in Kamurocho where there is a gaijin serving behind the till, and he is like very laboriously stretching out those Japanese words, and you're like, that's real good.
Nice. Do you do that?
No, I don't. I'm actually a lot more fluid. I got told that when I was over there. I don't do the arigato gozaimasu. I just do it more fluid, like arigato gozaimasu. So,
Yeah. As a weeaboo, you probably would.
yeah, king of the weeaboos, I think my term was. But no, like Yakuza is, as I said, is slowly growing, like going up, like the all-time list of favorite franchises for me. I need to go back and finish Zero. A lot. 6 has a lot of callbacks for previous Yakuza games, but like each has its own really interesting kind of mystery in its own right. So looking forward to go back to Zero and finishing that, and then get into Kiwami, and then finish 6, and then finishing Kiwami 2. I've got a year of Yakuza ahead of me.
No, you don't. You've got way longer than that. You think you're going to finish?
I know, right?
You think you're going to finish 4 games?
So 6 seems on the short end because there's only one character in it. You only play as Kiryu, and it's about 60 hours ish. I get to that, yeah.
No, if you don't start playing baseball and managing,
yeah,
and doing the dating sim,
and the gang simulator where you create your own gang, and then there's like this weird mini game where
you send them out on missions and they go and do things and they can level up, and it's
so what it is gang battles. So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like tower defense, but like you send people out, and then there's like a timer before you can send somebody else out, and there's like a wall of enemies, and you have to start working your way up, and you have to manage when they use their specials and stuff.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah,
that's a tower defense game.
Yes, it's kind of tower defensey. But it's like, I am yet to be disappointed by anything in a Yakuza game. So I actually can't wait to work my way through, especially with all the additions that they've done to 6 as well. So like just in terms of the fluidity of the movement, the fact that you can hop over obstacles and like stuff like that. You can go on rooftops, which wasn't really a thing in 0. The more of the city is accessible to you in its little area in Fate Kabukicho.
Because I have another game set in Japan that I need to go back to and finish.
Is that Persona?
It is Persona.
Yeah. But yeah,
and then I've got all the other games that aren't set in Japan, Mark.
I really can't stress how much I really want you to start playing Yakuza. Just so as I have someone to talk to other than Therese about it. Seeing as I gave all you guys a copy of Yakuza, none of you have fucking played it yet.
I tried, and then the next thing came out.
Yeah. You want to talk about the next thing?
Yeah, I'm going to quickly talk about all the wrestling I've been watching.
Okay. Did you watch the thing yesterday? I heard there was a thing yesterday.
So yeah, we talked since WrestleMania?
No.
So WrestleMania happened, and it was shit.
Yeah, my mate Ewan was over there and in New Orleans watching it.
Like live or like just in a bar?
No, he was at the event.
Nice.
It was his first WrestleMania. So.
It was not fun.
I watched a bunch of short people come out dressed as pancakes.
What happened there? What happened there? And by short people, you of course mean little people. Like they were not like, it wasn't like me and you came out short compared to all these wrestlers. Yeah, they went back to the days of midget wrestling. It was fucking horrible.
I feel that had a real Vince McMahon touch to it.
Oh, it really did. It was so fucking horrible.
To be fair, that describes a lot of that event.
Yeah. I think Ronda Rousey did a fucking great job. That was the weirdest part. That I went in thinking that was going to be the worst match, and it was the best match.
Felt a little weird with the whole we're okay doing violence to women again thing, though. It's been a while since I've watched wrestling, but I'm fairly sure they stepped away from that for a while.
No, they did, but like I think the way they did the Triple H Ronda Rousey confrontation was really good.
But they also did the Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
thing.
Yeah, she's in the ankle lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's slightly I do feel it's slightly different from power bombing a 75-year-old woman through a table.
No. A pregnant 75 woman through a table.
She's only pregnant with a hand.
You gave birth to a hand.
Yeah, Mark Henry's hand.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that was slightly, putting her in the ankle lock compared to, throwing her over the top rope or something. The ankle lock's a nice, relatively harmless looking, like, for realism move. But I like the Ronda Rousey Triple H confrontation. She made him look like a punk.
Yeah.
He
made himself look like Kratos, which was weird.
Yeah. Have you seen that Photoshop?
Yeah, you sent it.
Yeah,
it didn't even need that Photoshop.
It didn't, but I think that's what inspired the Photoshop. But man, like, no, Triple H looks fucking good as Kratos. Which, speaking of, since you just make me go into it, God of War came out.
Yeah, the God of War.
The God of War.
Yeah.
So then there was the Greatest Royal Rumble yesterday in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay.
So
I saw a lot of controversy like leading up to the event. I didn't realize it was that was the event that was happening.
A lot of controversy is probably pushing it. They probably
hence why people listening to the audio version, I used air quotes. But
he's what? No, it was a weird fucked event. So it's part of like Saudi Arabia's it's I think they're calling it Vision 2030, where they're basically doing like an economic and social turnaround. And I would say it's really weird to see a country do a PR move. Like, this is basically, it's literally what it is. It's just a PR move. Like, Saudi Arabia's been getting really bad press.
So I don't know if you remember when the Saudi prince visited the UK. I was inundated with ads like on every site that I went to about like how great the Saudi prince was and what he was doing to improve the place. And apparently it was the same in London. Like, they had hired electronic billboards and like those weird vans with like the billboards on the sides and stuff. So I wouldn't really say it's a PR move, more of a propaganda thing.
No, but that's the thing. Like, propaganda is making people believe things that aren't true. Like, they are doing things, and I'm not getting into the full politics of Saudi Arabia. I'm just doing from what I'm seeing, and not saying whether it is good or bad. But it is the thing of like, they're now allowing women to drive.
You can watch Black Panther.
Sat next to your wife.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Black Panther was banned, Mark. That wasn't the issue. It was I thought it
was. I thought they banned.
The thing was that Black Panther was the first time that men and women could sit together.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
A cinema.
Right.
So it's things like that. Like, that's not propaganda. That's
historic stuff of
that and
I don't mean in terms of propaganda as in like that might not be true, and as in terms of like when there is a conscious effort of something or a body to flood the channels with a specific message. That's also.
That's what I feel is just a wee bit weird about it. Is I think it's just a very Saudi way of doing it. And obviously
we have a lot of money, so we'll buy all the ad channels.
But but like, it doesn't seem. I think it seems nefarious because of the way
it's so blatant. Yeah.
But the way they are doing this, and like, it does seem.
We can't all just step across a DMZ zone and then not report about it in our own country.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird, especially considering they didn't mention it in North Korean news whatsoever.
And especially since, like, a month ago, we were at 20 minutes away from a nuclear war, and now they're like, that's cool.
It's almost like they've went, we've done the test thing. Something's gone horribly wrong. We might need outside help.
but yeah, so during the Greatest Royal Rumble, they actually had this like, I mean, it was fucking like 5 hours long. It was just like WrestleMania.
Oh, was it Goldberg's acceptance speech? Is that what it was?
But yeah, like so they did this like, you know, we're doing Vision 2030 for and the partnership with Saudi Arabia and the WWE, and I was like, okay, here comes the propaganda, here comes the like, look how amazing Saudi Arabia is, and then it goes into all this like, you know, for the first time ever, women being allowed to drive, and I was like, real, like I was really shocked that they were going through all the changes, like real actual changes and during a WWE event.
You know, the place where you're trying to get that message across.
Exactly. So
Did they splice that in between adverts for Rocket League and Snickers?
no, because the entire show was unsponsored
What?
because it was paid for
Okay,
by
I see
the
where this is going.
General Sports Authority of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
There was zero advertising. This is part
Is
of a
that a first?
this is part of a 10-year deal between Saudi Arabia and the WWE.
Huh.
I want to know how much they got paid and whether this is why the XFL is back.
Huh. Yeah.
Because if you know you're going to make a shit ton of money from the Saudi Arabian government over the next 10 years, you might decide to invest it in a shitty football league.
What's the most egregious thing we can do with this money that's really high risk? Remember that football thing we did?
Like, I doubt that like those two things came together because of each other, but they're getting a lot of money. A lot of money. So the Undertaker was there and it was shit.
Yeah, I heard the Undertaker was there. And given that the match at WrestleMania was like 2 minutes, how long was the casket match?
Too long.
Oh, okay. It was one of those.
No, it wasn't that long. I just don't like. I'm completely done with the Undertaker.
I bet they brought him back because it was such a big money get.
No, they brought him back because he's got a new hip and he's back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like he is back.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought he was just back for a one-off.
No, because during Wrestle,
he's got a new hip.
Yeah, no, actually, that is literally
the
why
Undertaker got his hip back.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it's like fucking just retire. Like you are a millionaire so many times over. What are you doing?
I thought he was running for.
No, that was Kane.
Was that Kane? Oh, right. Okay.
Kane was running for like mayor of his town or something like that. Yeah, that just the Undertaker's old. The Undertaker looks like shit. The Undertaker is not special anymore.
Hey, Ric Flair kept going till he couldn't.
Yeah, but people were saying when Ric Flair was still going, it's sad. Like he needs to retire. And I was gonna say understand it because of the money. Like they would sign him to the Legends program. He would be put in the Hall of Fame. He would still sell merchandise, and he is already so rich. And it's just like fucking giving the win to these new upstarts, you know?
Wonder if he's still paying for that divorce.
What one?
The one where he had his last wife that he had tattooed on his neck.
That's Sarah. That's not how divorces work. Then they had a 50-man Royal Rumble.
50-man Royal Rumble.
That's why it was called the WWE Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh, I thought it was like we brought back all these people who you recognize.
No, so the opening match was John Cena versus Triple H. Then they had all the title matches. My favorite one though was the Intercontinental title because at WrestleMania there was a triple threat ladder match between The Miz, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. At the Greatest Royal Rumble, there was a fatal four-way for the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship between those three and Samoa Joe. But before that match even happened, the day after WrestleMania, The Miz came out and said to Seth Rollins, "You took my title. I'll be having my rematch at Backlash," which is after the Greatest Royal Rumble. So I was like, well, Seth Rollins will be retaining the title then.
And Seth Rollins retained the title.
And everyone retained the title. I found that really, like, it was like a glorified house show. And that, it was like, the wrestlers didn't seem to be putting or all into it. A lot of hits seemed really weak. Like, oh, one guy tripped on his way into the ring and fell, and
so
oh
that
my
was
god,
the
it was
one thing that I saw.
oh my fucking god, it was unbelievable.
And then apparently they replayed it like 10 times over the course of the night.
Oh, they had to. That guy's career is over, and I feel so bad for him. But my god, like he slid under the ring until his little feet were popping out like the Wicked Witch of the East.
West, I think, wasn't
the East is the one.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
The West is the one that's the antagonist of the movie. Right. Come on, Mark.
All right, okay, it's been a while.
It was 50 men is way too many.
Well, a regular Royal Rumble is really fucking long as it is.
Yeah. And they count it. So the thing that really annoys me is they count it, and they're counting it in the records of all the other Royal Rumbles. So Daniel Bryan is now the person who has lasted longest in a Royal Rumble,
but only because
it was fucking 50 people long.
So let me pitch this idea to you then for the next Royal Rumble. 100 wrestlers drop onto an island.
Oh my god!
There are ropes at the edge of the map.
Mark, you're aware that this movie has already been made and it was called
The Condemned.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, and everyone explodes.
The ropes in that movie. Well, there might have been actually, but you know what I mean.
Explodes. They all explode.
Everybody explodes.
Everybody explodes in that movie. So yeah, it was just too long, and the winner gets a trophy and a belt. But I'm like, why? Like, why? Yeah, the trophy. Why the belt? Like, is this going to be a yearly thing where he defends the belt? But it's 50 men. Why the fuck would you defend that belt? So it's just a belt?
You can't even use it to hold your pants up either. That's the worst part. It's not fit for
that. Also, some of the choices for who they brought into the Rumble was weird.
Bring anyone back that was interesting? Or
no. Great Khali. Because it was probably cheap to fly him over from India.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio. Chris Jericho looked high as balls when he was getting interviewed. No, I mean it was weird because like Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
He just returned from injury and got promoted to the main roster. So he was NXT champion, got brought up. And then he came back, but wasn't in the Greatest Royal Rumble. One member of a 4-man stable in NXT arrived during the Rumble, and it wasn't the leader. Who I really like. He's very, very good. So yeah, it was just kind of a weird flat. Also, I called the end of the fucking Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar cage match, and I couldn't believe it. Did it?
Did they break the cage?
They break the cage.
Okay. You don't even need to describe that feud or anything, but you mentioned those two people, and it's like they could break the cage. It's either the ring or the cage. And given that Brock Lesnar's a danger to humanity as it is, it's probably the cage.
So I was actually Roman Reigns speared him through the cage to lose the match because that's obviously he escaped. Although, despite
when Lesnar hit the ground,
that's what I'm saying. Roman Reigns speared him to lose it.
Okay, right.
Despite the fact that his feet touched the ground before Brock's did.
Huh.
Like blatantly.
We're talking Royal Rumble 2000 here.
What one was that?
That was when the Big Show and The Rock went over the ropes. And then there was like, we slowed down the footage.
Yeah, so that one was actually scripted. That one was actually scripted to be... have you seen the one where John Cena and Batista both fall out the ring at the same time?
Probably not.
So it was unscripted. And then... I think the refs do a great job because like the Raw refs are like, this guy wins. And then the SmackDown refs are like, this guy wins. Then Vince McMahon comes out, more furious than I've ever seen him in my life, goes to slide in the ring and tears both quads. and is sitting on the ground, propped up against the ropes, screaming at people and point. You need to look at this. You need to look for this.
I need to see
It's
this.
unbelievable. Like he
I need to
tears
see
both.
this.
Like, you know, he's walking down the Vince McMahon walk down to the ring, slamming his
I'm
jacket.
surprised he
And
doesn't tear his quads just on that fucking walk alone.
I know. And then he just goes to slide in the ring and goes to stand up and just poof, onto the ground. It's great.
Speaking of wrestling,
God of War
wrestling's
came out.
Greek. You know what else is Greek?
God of War. Yeah, we did a lot of wrestling there. Yeah, God of War came out. I fucking love that game, Mark. I know that you're not as hot on it as me, but fuck me, that game's really good. It's the best Thor game ever made.
Even more so than Two Human.
Yeah. Yes.
So there are aspects about God of War that I think are incredible, but I am still at odds with the combat at times. Obviously, the for anyone who hasn't played it, the way it's set up is it's very much a Gears of War style camera,
over the shoulder.
So it's over the shoulder. It's very close to your back, which is fine for enemies that you are facing. But the way that the game works is that you will always be hit from behind or circled around by enemies, especially if you're fighting something like a wolf, because they normally have like 5 or 6 of the fuckers. And the way it works is it gives you an indicator as to when you're about to be attacked. There's no way to hit behind you. So like normally like a down and then hit you would expect like to do like a backward swing or something like that. It doesn't do that. It just moves you backwards and then you hit forwards. The option that it gives you, I find, is super disorientating. In that you press down on the D-pad and you will just do a 180 turn and the camera just spins around you like a motherfucker. And of course, Kratos grunts, which is the best thing about it. But
Resi style.
Yeah, kind of Resident Evil style. I feel like the only reason that they're kind of adhering to that is because they're doing the whole one-shot camera thing of like the camera follows you around, there's no loading, which there totally is. You can see it the way they're masking it.
No, but those cracks and crevices are there for okay. There is loading. There's no loading screens.
Yeah, there's no loading screens, but you can totally tell that's what's happening.
Same as in Mass Effect when you're going in the elevator, it's loading. Except for it's better than Mass Effect.
Yeah,
the loading part anyway.
But I feel like they could have done something like maybe the camera just steps back a little bit. I know there are other weapons in the game. It says so on the loading screen, but I don't know if that will help with that. I find that it's something that I can't overcome really. I get used to it, but it still like irks me in the back of my mind of like if I were just able to do like a backward swing or something, this would probably benefit me a bit more, especially when you're dealing with something like that stupid fucking witch thing.
The Revenants?
Yeah, the Revenants, where you like sometimes you'll fight 2 or 3 of them at the same time, and you have to ensure that you're hitting with an arrow before you can even hit them. And it's all the more marred by the fact that I'm also watching a lot of Yakuza being played as well, which that camera pans out and you can hit in any direction that you want. But yeah, they're 2 different games, and I get that. But in terms of the way the game looks, it looks incredible. I've currently got it running on performance on the Pro, which means that the frame rate is kind of 60-ish. It's locked 60 in a lot of the closed-in areas, and it kind of fluctuates a little, but it's not noticeable in the kind of big hub world and stuff. But that game, especially with the HDR, looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice looking game.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying the combat. I find sometimes I do get a bit overwhelmed by the enemies, but see, once I actually I'll notice myself getting the shit kicked out of me, and I'm like, right, okay, just take it, like, stop flailing and actually fight them. And once I catch myself there, I'm like, okay, now I'm back in it. Like, I really enjoy the options it gives you. I think it's from the runic attacks to the I mean, obviously being able to throw your axe to like I like for things like, I like throwing my axe into someone, then running up to the guy closer and punching him and then ripping him apart. Like there's a lot of really, really nice flow. When that combat works, when you get into that flow, it works really well. But yeah, there are times where, I mean, I've never pressed down on the D-pad. When there's enemies behind me,
Yeah, it's like roll to the side and then just
I adapt.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Usually when there's someone behind me, there's someone in front of me as well. It's not like I'm facing the wrong way while trying to fight this enemy. It's just there's someone else there, and I think it does a good job of showing you the dangers when you're in battle. Like that it does compensate for having that camera locked in. Like Atreus or Boy, will he'll be like, you need watch from behind, you're about to get fired, like, or watch from behind, you're about to
so
get
it's Vincent Mann there, and he's tore both quads.
He's wants you to kiss his ass.
So the one thing that I will say seems to be completely broken, is the only thing that I've noticed that with, is the lock-on system. I don't know if you've used it.
Is that like I mean, there's an option for all.
So you click in the right stick, targets the enemy.
No.
So I used it. So I used it on the first major boss fight in the game, where you fight one of the Azir. And any time that he would jump up in the air, the lock on would break.
Yeah.
So you were constantly having to re-lock on back onto the enemy, which I've also noticed with some of the other ones as well, like the Revenants and the obviously with the little things that burrow into the ground. But I'm not sure if that's what they're adjusting, because there seems to be like a patch every single day for the game, and I'm not sure what they're adding.
Various bug fixes and improvements, Mark. And photo mode.
Yeah, which equates to a 6.8 gig patch apparently for the first day one patch.
Fucking kidding me?
That's what the day one patch was. It was like 6.8 gig.
No, the photo mode's not in it yet.
Oh, was it not?
No.
Then what the fuck was in that 6.8 gig patch? But yeah, so ever since that fight, I have refrained from using that feature.
Yeah, it's not a great lock on. Especially when you're trying to switch between enemies.
Yeah. Can you if you've got it locked on?
Yes.
Can you?
It's garbage, but yes.
Okay.
It's not good for that. Because it's a toggle on and off. It's not a click through the enemies.
Yeah.
So the few times that I have used it, I've been fighting to get him to target the enemy that I want. I tend to sometimes use it if like if I kill a guy and then flip the camera behind me, you can lock on that way and then just turn him around, rather than using your D-pad. But I am really, really enjoying the story and the acting. I think Teal'c does a great job.
Yep.
He's great. Like,
was he the voice through the other three?
No. This is new voice. It's the other 9 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're all by the original Kratos, but I think that he does a really good job of this sort of beaten down Kratos, as well as he's got that fucking commanding voice. And I think
I like the moments where there are breaks in the armor. You normally see it. I think there's a brief moment at the start, just after he like the pyre with his wife, where he's like, "I don't know how I can do this without you" and stuff.
They're doing a really good job of
humanizing him.
Yeah, and making this about a journey of two people basically going through the same thing, but not able to discuss it with each other. It's bad dad Kratos. He is not a good dad. And one of the things I'm really liking is like Atreus was kind of grating at first. He's just this whingy little kid that thinks he's like, oh, I'm ready. I can climb the mountain. I can do this. I can do that. And Kratos is an asshole about it all.
Oh, he remains an asshole up to the point that I played it.
But well, at least where I am, he's.
Oh yeah, it's starting to change. He's more
Yeah,
he's more
he's
he's praising Atreus like
yeah,
after battles
exactly.
and stuff.
But he's also like you can tell he's realizing that this isn't working. That he can't keep doing this. That he is part of the problem. And I like that Atreus started getting sick of Kratos's bullshit around the same time I started getting sick of Kratos's bullshit.
Was that after the
And the boat,
light part?
which is a guy I think that's a great scene. That does they do so much character development with both of those characters in such a short amount of time, with showing on one of the sides absolutely nothing. But when you come back out that light, you know that shit has changed.
Yep.
And that is a really good scene. And you've got those like little moments where Atreus is like mumbling at something under his breath, and Kratos is like, "Oh, Joel, did I hear you say something?" And he's like, "No." And then at one point he does it, and he says, "Oh, dear, did I hear you say something?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're a piece of shit." Like, he just breaks, and they're doing a good job of doing all this naturally.
So that gets reconciled pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Stuff. I don't know how much further on you are from that part.
I've taken I've gone back, and now I'm going to the working my way to the next one.
Okay, I've just gone into like the Zelda dungeon of the Black Breath, if that's
right. So you're not that much further ahead of me.
Okay, right. I took a break to do a lot of the side content in that main hub area.
I did the side content. That's why you were so much further ahead.
Yeah.
I did the four ghosts. I've not done the Thor statue.
Oh, that's like a 5-minute thing. That's not even.
Yeah, it was because I went onto that island and all the enemies killed me in one shot.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So
I found that a lot easier then.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe I'll go back to this. So I've done quite a few of the side quests already, and I'm just making my way up the mountain now.
Yep. Okay, then you are near enough where I am.
So I've still not done the Thor statue, but I can go back and do that.
Yeah, that's not. It's like I'm going to hit a bunch of weak points on this thing. So
yeah. So I'm just waiting to. So I'm on my way up the mountain. So we're probably about
kind of same area. I've done like the first kind of puzzle in that area, but that's really about it.
I like the environmental puzzle solving.
Yep. A lot of it is move a thing and throw an axe, but
but it works. But they really do a good job of move a thing and throw an axe. Hey, I feel like I've accomplished something, or that was a cool moment, or
I'm still trying to work my way back to like the starting area, but I know I can't get there yet because I know there are chests and stuff that I've missed.
Yes, you don't have the other red ability yet.
No.
And the worst part is, I just wanted to check, but that fucking cave is so long to get back to that point. It's so long. I like the dwarves. I think they've got really, really good personalities.
They seem to be setting up the gods as real assholes. If Mark Miller and Garth Ennis were to combine and write about gods, like that would be the
man that first fight.
But also there's one of the side quests where like you've still to do with the Thor statue with the description of what happens of like we invited Thor into this house and then
no that's
my mother
like what is it they invite they build a statue to watch over someone's grave, and then Thor comes down. And they're like, yay! And then he stays. Then he stays with them for like a couple months and eats them out of house and home, and then murders them all when they say fucking anything about it. Yeah, gods are assholes. It's great. And it's a real interesting world because you didn't get a lot of the if any, like human moments in the first God of War games.
No, there wasn't any of that stuff.
And I'm not meaning like as in uh, like emotional or anything. I mean literally just bits with humans.
So I don't know if you played 3, but there was Pandora.
Okay.
That was the child of obviously Pandora's box, which was like the human iteration of her, and
Hmm.
you were like towards the end of the game, you were charged with her safety, and then you wind up casting her aside to go kill a god, and then she like gets sucked into a portal, turns into Pandora's box, and causes the end of the earth. But
But but that's not like there aren't humans walking around.
no, there's none of
So
that.
that's what I mean. Like it's nice to see that how this how these gods being assholes affects the people that live here. Because if you play through God of War, you might as well assume that this world is just like only got gods in it, gods and monsters.
Well, I think there was places on Earth in 2, like where you're starting off in a battle, and then they're like
Mm.
Titans attacking humans or whatever. Like there's a lot of Spartan warriors and stuff, but
But, but
nothing focused on like the day-to-day lives of
yeah,
people.
exactly. You know, someone died and we tried to build a fucking statue, and so yeah, it's. I'm really looking. I'm really enjoying that game.
Yeah,
It's
it's also going to be interesting to see how many of those like 12 realms you can actually go to, or whether they're setting up like
for
a
DLC.
no, like this is our world. Here's where we're going with this possible almost trilogy sort of thing. And here are the worlds that you're going to go this time around, or whether or not it's okay, right? Here is your all-encompassing story. You're probably going to visit all these worlds, or as you said, DLC. Um,
That would be weird. I could see Jotunheim
yeah,
being DLC because unless because like I don't know. It's either that or we're gonna go there later because they are talking about that a lot, but also talking about how it's all blocked off and blah blah
yeah. The
blah.
giants
So,
went and then
yeah,
destroyed. Yeah, yeah,
which is I think is part of the mythology, the real
yeah.
mythology.
I'm
So
not. I'm not. I know I'm being a bit presumptive here, but that horn on the bridge is the horn of Ragnarok. I'm assuming, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it would be.
I did like the. Did you continue to press triangle at the thing? Yeah, that's a good moment.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good game. It's a
Yeah,
really fucking good game.
I have my quarrels with it, but I think that's probably just more pronounced because I'm currently watching somebody play through Yakuza 6 at the moment.
Yeah, and that's like that's obviously a game you're very enamored with.
Yeah.
So anything that is not that at the moment, I think would be like you'll come back from Infinity War tomorrow and you'll be like, it was really good.
But it's no Yakuza 6.
It just wasn't a baseball simulator, in it? Um, yeah, I look forward to putting more time into God of War and Yakuza. I just need to get back to.
I can't recommend Yakuza enough, hence why I bought everyone a copy. So.
No, apparently you can't recommend Yakuza enough because you've been doing it non-stop for months.
Yep.
Right, will we move on to some news?
Sure.
Um, Mark, you liked Animal Crossing Pocket Prison.
Pocket Prison? Is that the new term for it?
Is that what it was called? What was it called? Pocket Camp?
Pocket Camp.
You loved that game, didn't you?
I played it twice, then uninstalled it. That's the most damning indictment of any Animal Crossing I could possibly give.
Yep. Well, Nintendo's got their next smartphone game ready to go.
Oh, that's where you're going. I thought you were going to talk about like they've added loot boxes to Animal Crossing for a brief moment there, which
no.
they did.
Which they
But-
did, and fuck that. You can now pay money for a 3% chance to own a Nintendo Switch in Animal Crossing.
Huh.
Yeah.
What, like a fake Nintendo Switch in the game, or
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, as in
Oh.
your Animal Crossing man will have a Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
But not in Belgium.
Yes.
But not in Belgium. But we'll get to that in a minute. Nintendo has a new smartphone game coming out.
Well, yes. So there's no US or like EU date set for this yet, I don't think, because of cat ass. Because It's a weird, very stereotypical Japanese phone game that they've got going on there. There is a trailer out for it, dropped this morning, last night. It's an action RPG for your phone, and it is very much a Japanese commercial.
Dude, that's an anime ass looking anime game.
It it in it is very much so.
It's called Dragalia Lost.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see if or when that gets translated, to see if that comes over here, because obviously they've got Mario Kart due out for this year. So whether or not that makes it to the West and then that one is Japan only, I don't know. But to be fair, Fire Emblem came out here, but I know Fire Emblem's more kind of
that was after
has a
the
base.
kind of Fire Emblem resurgence after Awakening.
Was that the fourth one? But yeah, no, I'd be interested to see if that comes out over here, because obviously they have a new president, so it'd be interested to see what their strategy is for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nintendo seemed to be. They retired Mitomo, didn't they? Like not that long ago. Like that is gone. Like one of their pillars of their smartphone empire has been reduced. It's just now Super Mario Run and Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and Fire Emblem are the three now.
Yep. Yeah, the Nintendo's phone game stuff isn't going as well as they might have hoped.
No,
I don't know. Actually, they're probably making a shit ton of money. Belgium has passed a law that says that loot boxes are gambling.
Yeah. So this it's ironic that this has all been a result of the Battlefront 2 stuff, when Overwatch was like the first kind of major thing to really indulge in this.
Mass Effect 3, mate.
No, but in terms of the scale of popularity,
Mass Effect 3 is the most popular game of all time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Don't believe me.
So this essentially mars a lot of EA's plans for like the FIFA Ultimate Team and whatever else. It also suggests that there's the way we are just now is that EU law will encompass everything. So if they change it in Belgium, that potentially might will run its way up to the EU and then potentially run its way over to the entirety of Europe as well. So EA must be shitting themselves over this, because this is the maelstrom that they've caused. But it'd be interesting to see, because I think did Germany say it was illegal as well recently?
I don't know.
There was another place, and I know states like Hawaii and I think there's another one as well over in America are trying to restrict loot boxes. So that's
I'm not sure if it came in any other country, but I know it's been talked about in quite a few.
But this is going to have some pretty severe changes for anything in terms of smartphones and console games, even stuff like Overwatch, which has already had to declare its. Is it drop chance in China? Was that what they had to declare?
Yeah, I think so.
So should be interesting to see what kind of stuff comes from that, because there's a whole swath of EU regulation coming in the 25th of May that a lot of companies are having to adhere to just now anyway. So.
And I've heard there's big penalties if you don't follow it.
GDPR or the loot box? Yeah, there are. 10 million for a breach, or 10% of the overall earnings of your company. So
that year.
Yep, that year.
Per offense as well. Yeah. So no more loot boxes. I think they'll adapt. They'll like, it's not the end of the world.
So it's also interesting. It's also going to be interesting to see whether, whether or not they
I missed my
move back to microtransactions, because there's a lot of hatred towards microtransactions in terms of the legal world as well, because obviously they're just offering the same thing, but you're guaranteed to get what you want. So whether or not they bring in restrictions in that as well, it's going to be an interesting few months to see how the companies react to this, how they respond, what gets patched out of what, whether or not they make you sign like a declaration of you understand this is gambling and you're over a certain age, and that null and voids them from that legal argument. I don't know.
But yeah, it's actually made me want to go back to Shadow of War.
So yeah, they've pulled out, or they're about to pull out the loot boxes. I know all the currency stuff gets patched out in July. Yeah, it's kind of made me want to go, okay, right, if this is cheap, I will pick it up. Because they've made drastic changes to the end game of that as well.
Well,
Which
the
was
end game was basically based
an
around
endless, yeah, defend your fort thing.
microtransactions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think once I'm sure that patch is in, go back to that game and Nintendo sent an E3 presentation date.
Yep.
I'm assuming that that's not it's not going to be on a stage.
So I don't know if you remember from last year, but they do kind of have a stage, which is the treehouse stuff.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. It's not
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to be. Yeah, they're
So,
not doing
so
a
the main
big stuff.
presentation will obviously be their video package, which will go live, and then they'll have the treehouse package. The treehouse stuff, I think they said they were covering Smash Bros. And
Do I have it here? Splatoon 2 World Championships?
yeah, Splatoon 2, the International Championship. But yeah, they've not said what's going to be in that.
Nope.
One of the rumors that's flying around just now is there's going to be an exclusive version of Fortnite, was one of the things. Obviously, they said they're going to talk about Smash Bros, potentially the Pokemon they announced last year. I'm hoping a new Animal Crossing after that web design leak. But, you know, I'm in a weird state right now where there is nothing announced for the latter half of this year, bar Yakuza, where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy that.
Spider-Man.
So that's Teresa's alley. She's going to be playing that one. Busy month for her in September with...
Does that mean I'm your alley?
What? No.
That's Teresa's alley.
Yeah. So interesting to see what Nintendo will show at E3.
Yeah. Sony have sold a lot of PlayStation 4s. In fact, they've
Almost
sold
market saturation, you might say.
they have sold 76 million PS4s.
Yep.
19 million of them in the last year, which
Yep.
is pretty incredible. It's a lot of money.
And it'd be interesting to see what the split was between regular and pro, and like the sentiment of like people who would buy the pro who currently have the regular version, because obviously there was the rumors flying about that there was going to be a PS5 announced this year, which was debunked by Jason Schreier and the Kotaku, which obviously the earliest was going to be probably about 2020.
That they would start talking about it.
No, that they're probably a launch for that sort of stuff. Like, I would imagine, like,
I think that's crazy.
You think it's early?
Yeah.
So bear in mind, last generation was the longest generation that there had ever been. Normally it's about 5 years, but obviously we're in this weird place where there are multiple versions of different consoles. We've got the Xbox, we've got the X, and then we've got the PS4 and the Pro.
But it's not that normally it's 5 years. It's that at this the rate that consoles were progressing, the rate that graphics, the rate that memory was progressing, 5 years was the time to do it.
Yep.
That's the reason that the Xbox 360 and the PS4 were because those change it. Like look at The Last of Us and PS3. That was a good looking game.
Yep.
I think it would be foolish to do it before you've pushed everything you can out of the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming in, but I think when the Xbox One and the PS4 were announced, I mean, the hardware was relatively on the low side, wasn't it? Bar the PS4 having like DDR5. I mean, like the stuff that a new hardware would bring in. Yeah, it wouldn't be like the dramatic change, obviously, because we're at the point now where it's bringing in new things like ray tracing, which EA and a bunch of companies were showing at GDC, which makes things look a lot more realistic, just in terms of lighting and like color saturation and all that stuff. But I mean, I think one of the there was a site that was selling access to a white paper on this stuff, and like that's where this all spawned out of. Where like they were saying like, oh yeah, they're going to be shooting for 4K 60 FPS, which they'll never do in their fucking life. I think we're gone are the days of like these big dramatic shifts in like, you know, from like N64 to like the Dreamcast PlayStation era. I think everything's going to be a lot more incremental from
Yeah,
here on out.
exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if the platforms were to drop the number from each of their titles, like as in it just becomes the PlayStation and the new PlayStation.
Nope.
Because I can see Xbox doing that relatively quick, given that the one has some fairly negative connotations attached to it.
I only see that if I could see Xbox doing it if they decide to consolidate all their stuff, all their game stuff, like their
Yep.
PC stuff, their console stuff. That's when you call it the Xbox. If you have any minor thought that you might bring out another one of these, you don't call it the Xbox.
No.
You don't call it the PlayStation. And the thing is, there's a lot. I mean, 76 million consoles, PS4s out now. I would sit back and make some money for a couple of years and then announce it. Like they've just hit the point where, right, we're here. Like, you know, let's focus on making, like, let's build our brand for a couple of years. Like let's put out some good games. Let's build that confidence so that when we bring out the PS5, or when we announced the PS5 in 2020, then people are like, fuck, I've had a great time with my PS4. Not, I just bought my PS4 Pro.
Which is kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah.
That's why I think 2020 is so soon. Like,
But when
not,
you like,
not
obviously when you start working for like bigger companies and corporate environments, you begin to see like different aspects of the companies are different competing environments. So obviously, yeah, overall company strategy, yeah, of course they would want to, like, we've got all the units out there, let's just start shipping software. But the product department's going, we're not bringing in much revenue right now, so we need to get some new hardware out there.
not selling. Yeah, no, I get that. I suppose this is why I'm just made for upper management.
Yeah. I have a funny. It would be interesting to see whether or not that is the focus right now, or whether they're like the hardware department's working on a new VR headset, or, but then is that VR headset compatible with the Pro and can it get the best out of it, or is it one of those things of this is where we are right now, the headset will come out now, it will be compatible with the PS5, and that's where you'll get the most out of it, or is VR even in Sony's strategy going forward, like, because you know the games out on it haven't been that hot.
No, and I've not heard a lot.
Well, the big game that came out with it was Resident Evil, which was like what, last January? When was the last time you heard of like a major game having VR in it?
Super hot. A great game, by the way.
No, but I mean like a full
no,
game
you know your depths.
experience.
Hey, Super Hot was built from the ground up.
I know Fallout and Skyrim had that, but that's where, you know, those are 4-year-old games at this point. And in the case of Fallout, and you know, it's
yeah, because I was going to say Skyrim's like 8 years old at this point. 7.
So, yeah, 7 November.
11, 11, 11.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see what the other companies have and wherever else. But you know, we're kind of in a weird place this E3. Hardware's out. We need games. We need peripherals. We need
VR games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vive Pro just came out. If you've got cash to burn,
I don't.
800 quid for that headset alone.
I'm all right.
About $1.50 if you want everything else.
I want the PS Vita 2.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
What?
You've got one. It's called your Switch.
Yeah. I'm looking for a new phone to buy. My contract's almost up. Don't know what to get.
I stick with HTC. That's my go-to.
Yeah, HTC pretty good. I'll think about it. Mark,
Mm.
so you've got. You said you've got what? Yakuza.
Okay, Yakuza 0.
You've got Yakuza 0,
Got
Yakuza Kiwami,
Yep, and Yakuza
Yakuza
6.
6, and Yakuza Kiwami 2 coming.
Yep, in
What if I
August.
what if I told you they might bring Yakuza 3 to 5 out? For
I
the
would
PS4?
say sign me up.
Uh-huh. Would you?
Yep.
Would you want remakes, or would you go back and play the PS3 versions?
I would
Or
want
like HD? Yeah. So
remakes.
that's the thing is, um, they say so. Sega have said they may consider bringing Yakuza 3 to 5
They're-
to.
They'll bring it. They will.
Uh huh.
They will at this
Uh
point.
huh.
There's no way they won't. They've already started talking about like, well, what do we do next? Well,
Uh
there
huh.
are some stories that we haven't quite told between 0 and 2.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
let's. So yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the game Shenmue wishes it was.
Yeah.
Especially 0, because that's set in
Ooh.
the 80s, and so Shenmue, and it's way
I
better.
really don't want a Shenmue HD.
Well, guess what, Ali?
Yeah. Is Shenmue 2 better than Shenmue?
So I have the original Xbox version.
Of Shenmue 2?
Yeah. Um, it's okay, but
Okay.
if you want that experience and
Play
way
Yakuza.
better, play
But,
Yakuza 0.
right, okay, Mark. We need to discuss something, okay?
Okay.
Can't end every sentence with then you should play Yakuza.
But that's so.
But
Yes,
then
I
you should
agree
play
with you in
yeah.
most situations, but the gameplay and style of Yakuza and Shenmue
Are very,
are
very
very
similar.
comparable. Especially seeing as a lot of the original team that worked on Shenmue went to go work on the Yakuza series.
Then why did Yakuza turn out good?
Because they were like, "Hey, we've got hardware, and like we're not gonna have these massive budgetary problems, and like
No forklifts.
yeah, and there's no forklifts. Well, there is in 0, but you don't drive it; you just hit people's heads off it.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Yeah.
That's like a
That's Shenmue was a time and place thing,
mhm.
and even back
No,
then,
no, it wasn't. Fuck off.
no, but I'm saying, and even back then, you could see what it was trying to do. It might not have accomplished everything, but without it, we wouldn't have got Yakuza. So there's something to be grateful for.
That's not necessarily true either. It's full of fallacies today.
The core team that worked on that went to work on Yakuza.
It doesn't mean that Yakuza wouldn't have happened if Shenmue didn't happen. This isn't scorch the earth so we can build a new Mark. This is they made a shit game and then they made a better game.
Two games before that. But. And Shenmue 2 was really weird as well because, like, in order to get the funding, they had to put out an Xbox as well. So that Shenmue 2 is quite rare on the Dreamcast, if I remember rightly. But don't get me wrong, it's no Radiant Silver Gun, but it's pretty rare.
Switch sales are
fucking through the roof.
Yeah, they really are. People are buying Switches.
Yeah, so I think Nintendo's target is to ship 100 million units by the end of this year.
Total?
Yeah, shipped. So like they want to ship 100 million units.
Right.
But in terms of buys, it's like 17.8 million. Is that what it is?
Well, they've reached 17.8 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying in terms of buys.
For the end of last year.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
But then, given everything that's happened with that since it came out and like the positive buzz around it, I mean, don't get me wrong, they've had their niggles, like the left Joy-Con thing and the fact that there is no save transfer. It's continued to pick up pace, and Mario Kart did that. Zelda did that. If they can bring more to that, be interested to see how Labo affects that as well, because obviously that's targeted a very specific demographic.
Yeah. Yeah, they've also sold a shit ton of Zelda titles.
It's the
Best
biggest
selling,
selling entry of the franchise, isn't it? Yeah.
best selling Zelda game. I've still not bought mine.
Rightly deserved. It is an incredible game.
I will buy it at some point.
You finished Mario yet?
Well, I beat Bowser.
Okay.
I need to go and do the other worlds and
Yeah.
stuff, and go and clean up the moons. But I've finished the story. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So no, I have not 100%ed Mario because that is how you complete Mario.
Yeah.
But I have completed Mario.
Okay.
If you want to go that route. And the Nintendo Switches are all vulnerable.
So, like I was saying, they've had their niggles. So there was an exploit released and a firmware hack released over the course of the week. So the way that this works is that it is not a software exploit; it is exploiting a weakness in the chipset.
Yep.
So every single Nintendo Switch will have that. It's kind of like the Intel thing, where there's a vulnerability in every single piece of hardware that they've released. Whether or not they do something to stop that, it might come at a hardware cost, like, of course, the Intel thing, which some of the chips were 30% slower because of it. I know this is a relatively new chip, so it might not be as harsh as that. Yeah, so I'm imagining there's going to be an entire scene of homebrew and pirated games showing up fairly soon.
Yeah. I've heard this going around. COD Blops 4
Yeah.
is not going to have a campaign at launch.
Yeah, which normally means they're not getting one. Yep.
So none of this is particularly solid. I've been hearing a couple of not conflicting reports. Like, it seems that it's pretty set in stone that
Yeah, so Polygon were originally reporting on this stuff, and I think it broke last week, around Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, so word is that they were working on a campaign and nothing was coming together.
or it wasn't going to be ready in time
Yeah.
for. So I mean, I could see them doing it or releasing it as DLC or some bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Speaking of some bullshit, what they potentially might have in place of that is a Call of Duty Battle Royale mode.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, are you shocked?
Nope. I didn't
Um,
think it would be Call of Duty that would be the first major one to implement it, but yeah, and there was an interview with like the producers of Battlefield 5, and they asked if like they were going to do the same thing, and they were like, probably not, depending on what like the view of the community is, because that sort of mode is completely at odds with the way you would play a Battlefield game.
so weirdly, I think that it would suit a Battlefield game way more than it would suit
Yeah,
yeah, because like PUBG is this or Fortnite as this like tense, like not it's not slowly paced, but it has this deliberate pace to it. Like Call of Duty is run and gun. It's just full on like hit the ground and murder as many people you can before you get murdered.
so have you seen the new myriad of PUBG patch notes that came out
Yes.
yesterday?
I played it.
One of the things is to make that more deliberate, and that you are slower moving when you are carrying a gun. So the kind of battle lines have been drawn. There are the Fortnite, which is like the fast, snappy build, like cartoony sort of thing, and then there's the deliberate Arma, um, tense version, which is PUBG.
And
If I
I
had
don't
to
think,
imagine, it would be Call of Duty would probably try to emulate the Fortnite one,
but
because you know.
I don't think like I think Call of Duty is so far even from
Oh
that,
yeah,
like that it just doesn't work. Whereas Battlefield, like you could do that, like you could have these weapons, especially like Christ, they could throw that into Battlefield 1 and it would work great because it's got these specific weapons. It's got this like slower pace to it. Like it's already used to these larger maps. Um Whereas I just think Call of Duty's I just don't think it's I don't think it's a right fit.
and it'd be interesting to see how they pitch that, whether or not it's like if it is in the game, if it's the main focus of the game, because we've already got like your paid one, which is PUBG, and you've got your free ones like
Fortnite.
Fortnite. What was the new? Oh no, wait, that's paid, isn't it? Cliffy B's new one, the Lawbreakers. And H1Z1's going free to play, and you know the
Got ones all over the place.
yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the reaction is, well, fuck that. Why would I want to play that? I've got this shit over here, or whether or not it brings in the Call of Duty audience, which is a very specific audience.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're taking in a lot of things there. Like you're splitting your user base across, because I mean, Call of Duty already does that, and obviously they've got the numbers for it. But they always do their 8 different game modes on, and then if you add a battle royale to that, and take out a single player, it might not. I don't know. It's a big risk.
And you have to, and the feeling I certainly get is that you have to nail that out the box.
Yeah.
Like if they come in with like this weak thing, people just migrate back to their other go-to.
Or they're just going to play Fortnite. It's free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why would you pay $60 for a Call of Duty when you can just go on PlayStation, or is it on Xbox? Yeah, I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just play it there. Like, it's free.
It's free. Yeah, it's just weird. But I suppose Call of Duty's been kind of waning and trying to find its feet for a few years.
You think this E3 will be the E3 of Battle Royale?
Yeah.
There was a couple years where it was the E3 of MOBA.
Yeah, yeah.
And only a fraction of those came out.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those was Battleborn.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a lot of battlegrounds, battle royale esque.
100 Marios drop into an island.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Well, Mario has guns now.
Yes, he does.
So I will play as Rabbit Luigi.
Rabbit Sam Fisher. That's what they got Michael Ironside for. It was like they brought him back to speed up his voice so they could make.
Yeah, it's the DLC for rabbits.
Yeah, ironically, I would not put that past them
because
there already is a Splinter Cell reference in there. So
I did like that nod in Wildlands to.
It was more than just a nod.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was way more than just a nod. Man, someone's getting Domino's very early.
It's lunchtime, Ali. It's 12 o'clock.
Would you get really lunch on Saturday?
Listen, the amount that I ate last night, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. But I don't know. Domino's real shitty pizza anyway. I don't know if I would.
Pizza is better. If you see Papa John's, will stab you. If you see Papa John's, will stab you.
I loathe Papa John's.
Oh, thank God for that. This is the worst.
But like living where I am, I have
yeah
3 restaurants nearby that do pretty good pizza.
Right now you're having a different argument.
Yeah.
Now you're having
one of those is a specific pizza place.
That's not pizza. I mean,
Domino's pizza. Yeah, no, that's
like when I want a Pizza Hut or Domino's, I'm like I don't go. I would love a pizza. Oh, that's fine Italian cuisine. I'm like, get me garbage.
Yeah, pizza-based garbage product.
Yeah, It's the same reason I want Taco Bell.
Yeah. Domino's is the Taco Bell of pizza.
I'd say Pizza Hut's the Taco Bell of pizza because I want to eat Pizza Hut and I want to eat Taco Bell.
Okay.
Domino's is fine. Pizza Hut's better. Papa John's is trash.
I don't know. Like in terms of like a money to garbage ratio, I think like Domino's is probably better because like anytime you walk in, you get buy one get one free. But
Pizza also do got their deals. It's also I think is it not Domino's that does that weird garlic dust in their crust?
Only if you get that crust. Like always get
that's their basic crust. So if you're going if you forget and then you're like fuck,
get that dust.
Ugh. Speaking of lunchtime, I think we're going to call it there and go.
Yep.
Thanks for joining me, Mark.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully, be playing more over the coming week, and we
What,
can
were you?
wrap these up as E3 is gradually approaching.
Do you know what? Do you know what 2 words were not said this whole podcast? Monster Hunter.
Because I've not played any. Yeah, I know, right? Obviously they released their raid, and I haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to do it yet. It's only available for this week.
I know. Well, it'll come back out. Like,
Yeah, but
calm down because there's like I'd love to be like I will definitely get this, but I've got God of War, I've got Yakuza, and I have work.
yeah, that's kind of where I am as well.
It's
I'm going to make a concerted effort to try and at least do it once, so
yeah.
then I can go.
I'd love
Yeah,
to do this. But
just
I'm
get
not.
some in.
I mean, I'm not even at the fucking end.
Yep. Well,
Um,
you're at the end of the
well,
story.
yeah, the end of the story, but I've still got a fucking lot to do.
Couple more missions, and you'll be at the level cap thing where I am. I'm at the point where I am level 49 and have to beat a tempered Kirin.
I've never seen a Kirin.
Okay, then we should definitely take that on.
I've had quests for Kirin for ages, because you get them quite early in the optional quest.
Yeah, but the tempered Kirin can kill you in about 2 hits. So
yeah, but also I don't know what Kirin is. So.
It's an electric unicorn.
I can't remember the name of the summon from Final Fantasy X, so we'll call it there. Thanks for joining me. We will be back soon.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lovely day here in Glasgow, so let's go and enjoy it.
There's no such thing.
Right. Go play Yakuza, Mark.
I got stuff to take care of, but yeah, I will probably get some in over the weekend.
And we will see you all next time. Bye.